Those of you that are preparing to go to the university, this guy believed that school is only a trap that was used by the white man to enslave Africans. And today, he's here to tell us why.
Hi, my name is Ihe, the Light of Africa. I strongly know that the Western education in Africa is an instrument or a colonization tool the white man bring to Africa to enslave African youth, to make African youth totally dependent consumers. And today I am here to tell you why.
Bro, how can you say something like this, that Western education is only a tool for enslavement?
Western education in Africa is the introduction of poverty in Africa. Western education in Africa is the introduction of joblessness in Africa. I tell people that before white man came to Africa, there is no one in Africa who is jobless. Every young man have a job. It's either he's a farmer, or he's a palm wine tapper, or he's a blacksmith, or he's an orthopedic surgeon. Whatsoever reason, the young boy is already independent at age 18, 20. He's already planning of how to get married because he's have a job, he has a financial work he's doing. Introduction of education in Africa automatically breeded numerous dependent youth in Africa. And why is it so? Is because the education that was available to Africa was not actually designed in a way to solve problem. It was actually designed in a way to actually breed people who will pursue memory and not actually pursuing solutions to people's problems. Because the reason why we study, the reason why we go to school is to solve human problem. The reason why we do all kind of learning. If I'm going to do apprenticeship today, if I'm going to learn trading today, if I'm going to school today, all I'm doing as a human being is how do I improve my environment? How do I look around my environment and improve my environment to solve the problem in my environment? Unfortunately, the education system that was brought to Africa was not meant to have functional knowledge. Functional knowledge is the knowledge that we have direct application to the environment where you are coming from. So why the white people are reading to solve human problem, Africans are reading to get certificates. Unfortunately, certificates don't solve problem in a nation. Certificates expand poverty in a nation, widen dependency, and make the youth irretrievably dependent consumers. So the assignment is keep the youth busy, give them memory, and while the people are reading, pursuing certificates on that project, the youth are being empowered. They now put incentive there. The incentive is the trap, because when you want to capture an animal, you have to, if you make a trap, you have to put maybe the few meat or the things that will actually attract the animal to that place. So money was actually put there as the incentive. So those who actually put the interest in that memory education and came out as first class, those people are being paid a little amount of money to encourage others to continue pursuing that memory education that have no physical application. And then when somebody eventually graduates, you now ask the person, young man, you said you study pharmacist. Yes. Can you produce drug? Are you producing? He doesn't have anyone he's producing. All our drugs is being imported from India. And we said we are graduating millions of pharmacists in Africa. You now discover the pharmacists come out and start going to sell drug. This drug is something that somebody who did not even go to university at all went to a Tanzania market, learned for 6 months, and they begin to sell drug. And then somebody went and studied for 5 good years, come out and begin to sell drug. I am reading chemical engineering. I entered chemical engineering, read chemical engineering for 5 good years. I come out, which chemical can you produce? You are helpless. You now went and start mixing paint. The same paint as somebody did not go to school at all. Somebody went and learned how to mix paint. For within 6 months, the person is already missing paint. But we are graduating numerous numbers of chemical engineering graduates every year. The same way you come to engineering if the white man education system was actually meant to solve human problem, the white man would have been building a car and he would be building a car. The white man would have been building the road. You will be building road by yourself. The white man would have building phone. This phone I have, you would have been building this phone. But the reason why you will know that Western education is useless in Africa is that if there are 10 roads today leading to your village, 10 of them is constructed by Arab or Julius Berger. Because they know the education system they give you have no functional knowledge. The civil engineers, you are giving certificates, and the problem that it is better not to know than to know wrongly. The worst form of learning is not even ignorance, it's to know wrongly. Because when you know wrongly, you must have acquired pride, you must have acquired ego that will block the new inflow of knowledge in you. Because when you come to the Western education, you discover the West creates secrecy of knowledge. And the reason why they create secrecy of knowledge is because the assignment is let the people who are talented are taken away. When you begin to hear about things called patents, an average African man don't know what is patent. Patent is what gives you right of ownership of a particular something. For instance, I manufacture this phone, and I'm going to go and get patents of this phone to make sure that I am the only person who is producing these patents. Somebody manufactured Pepsi and secured patent over it. So the people who produce these goods, who produce this, the world inventors, they created this value, but they want all the mass of the people to be using this thing without producing it. And why an average African young man today is struggling to marry? Because when you tell an average African young man at age 25, 26, 27 years, now when are you getting married? He says, don't even go there. Why? Because he has gone to the university, Unizik, UNN, and spent 5 years, come out, he doesn't even have up to 500k in his account. So he's frustrated because the education system that's supposed to structure him to be a problem solver has created him to be a problem. And so the boy is struggling with finances. That is why I tell people that university has breeded more criminals in Africa than Osama bin Laden and Osisi Kanko. Why? Because when you breed numerous number of youth every year that are jobless, a jobless man is when you hear devil, when you hear Ekwensu. Ekwensu is a hungry man, a man who is healthy but he doesn't have food. That's Ekwensu. So number one, the youth can no longer be productive, free from financial dependency, and then they are running away from marriage because they couldn't take responsibility, because there has been avowed an education system that wasted all their youthful lifespan. And so the young girls also make the many young girls in our society praying for a husband. Why the people who are praying for husband are struggling for survival. And this is one of the reasons why we are struggling with morality today, because morality will always override survival. A man who is hungry does not hear any other word until he eats. And so when somebody is hungry, when you have produced massive number of the youth in Africa who you call graduate and the people are carrying certificates up and down looking for a place to get job, then you cannot come and tell the people to live a righteous life. You know you have breeded criminals in the society, and inevitably there are going to be criminality in that society. So I'm not telling you to abandon the Western education. No, what I'm telling you is that we need to restructure it to make the youth productive, no longer making the youth beautiful speakers of English language. So that the youth will now be people who will now, I studied chemical engineering. Yes, I come out, this is the acid I'm producing. I produce the acid that people put in their cars. I produce the battery in people's power bank. I produce this chemical. Yes, I studied pharmaceutical engineering. At least I'll go to vitamin C. Now I love vitamin C. You'll be manufacturing, I'll go to paracetamol. Understand where I'm coming from? That education will not come from productivity. I studied electrical engineering. Yes, I'm on a process of building this camera that is videoing us. This is the way to make sure that when you come to that system, that was what Chinese did. They once have this kind of education we have, and they did what is called Chinese Renaissance. And Chinese Renaissance was a system by which they restructured their system. Automatically, the education become from productivity. And education